The state of California announced churches and other places of worship are allowed to reopen for in-person services under newly released guidelines. KSBY News reporter Michael Torres spoke with local pastors about their plans to hold gatherings. He's live for us now in San Luis Obispo. Michael, good evening.
Good evening, Megan. Here at Mission College Prep, this is where SLO City Church used to hold their services every Sunday, but now those services are held online. Even as restrictions are being lifted, some like SLO City Church aren't rushing to reopen and instead are taking a more cautious approach. Churches and places of worship got the okay to reopen from the state of California Monday afternoon to once again resume in-person services at a 25% capacity or a maximum of 100 people. But in San Luis Obispo County, some churches are taking a different approach when it comes to reopening.
We feel like it would be unwise, even with an order or an encouragement or an allowance right now, to rush back into gathering.
We're aiming to open on the first Saturday night of June. And so that should put us in a couple of weeks out.
When churches do reopen, they'll be operating under new state guidelines. Those include members inside being encouraged to wear masks, avoid sharing prayer books, and skipping the collection plate during services. Even though the guidelines were released today, Oasis Church in Grover Beach says they already have some safety protocols in place.
We've also purchased a infrared laser thermometer, so we'll be taking people's temperature when they come in the door.
As Oasis Church has preliminary plans to open in the coming weeks, SLO City Church pastor Brent Bramer wants to take a wait-and-see approach before returning to in-person services.
I think we're kind of waiting for some of the dust to settle. You never want to be the first place to open, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, an outbreak happened in our congregation.
As churches now have the guidelines in place to move forward to resume in-person gatherings, both Oasis and SLO City Church say they're hopeful, but also want to keep safety in mind. I reached out to the county public health department to see if they agree on churches being allowed to reopen, but have not heard back. Reporting live in San Luis Obispo, Michael Torres, KSBY News.
All right, Michael, thanks for breaking that down for us. Places of worship are also encouraged by state guidelines to continue offering remote and online services.